Hello everyone, Dan 14th Prime here. Doing another video share out today with the latest addition to the Prime Pyre. This is the Prime 1 Studios quarter scale Street Fighter V Ryu, or Ryu, Rio, Do. But knowing that I always regress to my 12-year-old self, I'm going to refer to him as Ryu, because I grew up playing Street Fighter 2, playing the arcade game at the local 7-Eleven, putting lots of quarters in there, my friends and I. And a few weeks ago, I actually finally picked up the Street Fighter V on PlayStation, late to the party there, but enjoying getting back into that a little bit. And yeah, this statue just brings back a lot of nostalgia. Always been a lot of Street Fighter statues out there and available at Prime 1. They always do something a bit different. And this pose here with the Hadouken, probably getting what's called his critical art going. And the Street Fighter V game just looked awesome and epic. So I had to hunt this guy down. Not available in the States. I picked him up from a place called Avo Lounge, AVO Lounge. They're in Singapore. Actually got the ultimate set, as you see here in front of you. Comes with that extra torso and bust stand over there on your right. Now this piece retails for like $1,300. Pretty pricey for a quarter scale, but in typical Prime 1 statue, they do everything big. This is like quarter scale and a half. You can check out my Instagram, same handle, Dan14 Prime, where I'm doing some comparisons of this guy between other quarter scale and 1/3 statues. He's pretty big, 20 inches wide, about 15 inches deep, and about 20 inches tall, just shy of. So good sized dimensions, but just like the mass of the character overall. Massive base. Ryu himself is thick and massive. I mean, that guy's arms are the size of my 1/3 cyborg Superman that I put into Prime Pyre just a few weeks ago. So he's big. I think you get a good amount for your money. This ultimate set here, now I actually paid $1,100 from Avo Lounge, so I give them a recommendation. Check them out. I believe ES on this one about $150, so pretty low, and again, not licensed to be sold in the U.S. The regular edition equally low as well. I'm not sure that ES, but you're probably talking 100 or 200. So let's jump in and take a closer look at this piece. So let's start down low with the base here. It looks good. It's simple. Pretty consistent, probably themed-wise with what we saw with the Akuma piece already. Just a lot of these boards, broken, shattered. Some nice sort of metal kind of bracket accents on them. Some stone over there that we'll get into. These, again, Hadouken effects, translucent plastic. Look very good. Again, just firing up all around him. Probably his critical art, Hadouken, whatever that's called. A little nit in that they go from white down into this clear translucent blue. You can see the magnets on them. They have a key plus a magnet. Not a huge problem, but you'll notice it. I can live with it. Maybe you could have painted the back of those magnets blue or something. I don't know. But you do see the keyhole in the magnets in there. You get all these little stones. They look good. Again, all the boards look really good. Dirt and mud kind of in between with the rocks. Again, all of these increasingly larger translucent plastic things that look super nice. If you want to see some of the assembly, again, check me out on Instagram, some handle Dan14 Prime. Save down in my profile, I save down the stories, so it's out there. You can see how most of this guy comes together, and I say most because I'll talk about the Hadouken in a minute. But, they keep the art direction of the video game, so you get these like exaggerated big feet and stuff like this, just with how these characters look in the video game, which is fine. That's how I would want it to be personally. So very happy with how those things come out and look. Over here, again, based off of this map or stage, whatever you want to call it in the game, you get some of these, callbacks here to some of those stages. This looks very good. Kind of stone god looking thing, whatever it is. Very well done. And then this big arching bridge, which you saw from further away, kind of pegs in back there. Tight fit. Kind of had to almost like stretch it, if you will, to get it in there. But yeah, you can see this all the way around. And I've got number 7 of the 150, lucky number 7. And definitely happy to have it. So simple base, but the translucent effects really make it look cool. It's heavy as hell, again, in typical Prime 1 fashion. So let me just move us up a bit here. I just want to get I want to just show you some of the texture and shading on the, what is it, the gi? Is that what that's called, the whole uniform? you can see there this is fine cotton pant or something sort of texture going through there. Shading, dirty, you know. These are awesome. These like sculpted ends. You see it around his sleeves and around the bottom of his pants. Really nicely shaded, ripped, sort of ragged effect. All packed super nicely with all this hand-packed foam to make sure it all gets to you safely. It was excellently done by Prime 1. So just tons of care in this look of his. And you notice, right, there's tons of veins on this guy. He's ripped, he's jacked, and there's really good veins. I mean, like, they're in his foot there, you can see. Of course, they're all in his arms that you'll see as well. Even his toenails look pretty good. But this gi, just like this texture, this sculpted flowing effect and motion that this piece has is so freaking cool. It just looks very fluid. Everything is in motion. That's done with his pose all the way through to the sculpted gi, his belt, things like that we'll see. Really awesome. Get you this way a little bit. We'll come back into this. There's a lot going on right here. Really complex piece of the statue. Don't love it, or at least didn't love putting it together, but pretty cool. But here's this leg again, just great shading, worn out uniform and everything. Pant leg down here. Get that out of the way. This looks so good. You see all these little extra details of wear, just so cool. And let me just kind of come this way. It's cool. I just want to show you some of this off the back. You know, the motion coming off the gi. Just the way this thing is almost kind of floating. You know, he's moved forward swiftly. It's kind of jumped up into the air. They captured that awesomely. There you even see it around back as well. That's just really cool. All right, now let's jump up to the top half. How cool is that? So much going on in there. The Hadouken being formed sort of between his hands. Looks awesome. Really painful to pull together, but looks amazing. It's got a light up. It's on. I'm blasting so much light in there. You know, you can probably see it a smidge, but it shows up pretty well in sort of normal lighting. Two AG41s, I believe, not included. You need to put in there. It's got a button. It's actually like part of how the Hadouken has this spiky effect. Around the back here, there's a set of those that's a button. So integrated switch, pretty cool. So back to a lot going on here. Behind this, first of all, there's like his sash or belt, which is cool. We'll see it better on the other bust. They basically sort of look the same to me. Maybe they're slightly different. But there are two unique sashes. Again, similar, but probably a little bit different. They each have a unique key. So that's the closest to him. And then you have this Hadouken, which is built out of these translucent parts. There's a main piece here that pegs into this hand, magnetizes, and it'll kind of stay put. And then you basically peg in this piece to right here and this piece to the back of the piece you just pegged in to kind of create the ball effect. And then these two pieces peg on as well. I played with this for like an hour. No kidding. It was probably the most frustrating statue assembly thing I've ever done in my life. It's like, it's not supposed to be that hard. And the main issue I had is I feel like my Hadouken sits maybe a 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch too low because the spiky things just keep getting caught on the fingers, which then want to drive this arm down and not allow it to go in all the way. And I'll show you, I've actually got probably like a 1/8 of an inch seam still, where there's still room to make that better, but like the fingers are touching the ball. So short of like chipping some of those off, it's just not going to get any better. But not a big deal. Again, I've got it close enough and you can't even tell with the way this guy comes together. But yeah, this looks super cool. Again, back to that movement. He's, you know, straining. You see the muscles flexing. His chest is all shredded. He's putting that ball together. Focused. Again, his headbands flying in the wind as well. So it looks really great. If anything, they've got his head seamed right there. You can see it if you look really, really close, but it's natural to be on the jawline. So I think it's okay. What I don't understand is why I can't take the other head and put it on here. It's like, I don't get it. Just make the head keys universal. Because as a classic Ryu guy, I kind of like the other head. It reminds me of the nostalgic look a little bit more. But yeah, we give this guy a little spin this way. You can see display options. You could do profile. And you could all the way start to turn him towards you like this and get some different looks, just depending on the footprint you want to use and how you want to see him. So you get a good 90 degrees there, I would say. From square on looks pretty good, you know, all the way to head on of display option. Just check out that arm. Jacked, veins all through it. All this motion, all this gi all torn up through there, sculpted. Check out this, sculpted up through there, through the chest. Again, the gi sort of in motion. Really, really cool. Again, I'll just spin him around through the back. You can just check it out. Texture, shading, everything in there just looks really, really good. Now, despite some of those, you know, design meets engineering complaints of this Hadouken effect and everything they try to have going on sort of within it or behind it, the good thing is once it's together, it's pretty much together. The whole torso is a removable piece, including the belt, everything with it. So you can lift the torso head, all that comes off, and the new one comes on. And just while we're here, I mean, this is the torso base thing. Pretty simple, you know, very museum-esque, classic-esque, but glad to have it. Your bust will sit in there very nicely. So we're going to swap out the torsos here. I don't love the peg and rod system. I feel it should be inverted. Like you need the peg to guide in the fit and then the rod to secure it. But here you find yourself searching for the rod hole first and then trying to get this peg to slide over it. So it's a little backwards. I think the rod should be coming down from the torso. And then headband here, just struggling to find the right keyhole fit. It's so small, so pop off the head and get that in. And then you get, again, this look with the ultimate, which is, I guess they call it, you know, it's the story mode. I've definitely recognized this look that you can get with Ryu in the game, Street Fighter V. But again, for me, it also just looks a bit more classic, at least with the hair. So I like it. I'd like to be able to put it on the other bust, but you can't swap that out. And things like that, I just kind of scratch my head sometimes. Why you wouldn't make those heads kind of fit each way. This is just really cool. I think just you see the massive ripped torso and even more dynamic gi flying everywhere. So here, if I come more eye level to him, so if he was at least eye level, that means probably high up on display if you need to be able to see him at eye level yourself, sitting or standing depending, because he's got that lunge. And then this becomes more the profile look. So it's all right. You know, it's an option. I think given the Hadouken, though, I would always keep the Hadouken. But this is a nice sort of complementary proximity piece, which still looks cool. And again, for me personally, it's like beggars can't be choosers. I could not even find the regular one. So all I could even find out there in the world was the ultimate version. And again, getting it for $1,100, couldn't really complain. And then just so you can see it when you're over here, then this becomes, again, the bust display, whichever one you want on there. But you can see I just moved that whole piece pretty easily. If anything, they suggest to take off the small parts like these kind of effects. But if you're careful, you can just move the whole thing. And your bust can look pretty good on display. And then here, just to show you, again, my one knit. Now this has grown since I've moved it. I'll probably play with it a little bit more when I put it back. But this should be flush. And I'd say right there, I've got a good, healthy 1/4 inch gap right there where it is not sitting back. And again, it's the Hadouken ball, the fingers making contact with the bottom, you know, not being able to find the fingers to get in a place where it's not touching the ball causes me to not be able to get this in flush. So I'm sort of living with the gap rather than trying to like chip off parts of the ball or anything. But I just don't get it if it's something with the assembly or what, where those two pieces push on each other. It just seems like my Hadouken ball needs to be basically sitting that much higher, which will create the space to allow me to slide that in. But weird quirk, and again, just big pain in the butt putting that together. So there you have it, guys. Prime 1 Studios 1/4 scale Street Fighter V, Ryu. Really happy with this piece. Pricey for 1/4 scale to get it in hand, but you do get a lot for your money here with this ultimate version, or even if you're getting the regular, just again, the sheer size, weight, mass of this. Definitely what I like to call 1/4 scale and a half. Prime 1 just does everything big. But a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia here for me, and we'll wait and see. I'd love to get a pair. Again, they've got Akuma out there. Chun-Li is up for pre-order. They had teased Ken already. In my perfect world, it would be Sagat. I could get to pair with him. If not him, Bison. But if not him, I would probably settle for Ken as well. So we'll see how that goes. See what's after Chun-Li and exactly how many of these they plan to make. But they are really, really well done if you're a fan of the game or just fighting games. You know where I've intersected with this franchise in any way and have some energy for it. I think you'll really, really like this statue. I think it's a top-of-the-line premium take for the franchise in character, in a statue format versus what we've seen otherwise out there on the market. So again, thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking out the video again. Instagram, Dan14Prime, same handle. A bit more saved down in the profile. Assorted affiliate links below. Amazon, eBay, Sideshow. Any shopping of those links, supports the channel at no cost to you. So thank you very much for that. Do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.